it's Lindsay from the blog Books for Christian Girls, and today I'm doing the much-awaited Q&A. I remember saying that I would do a Q&A of April of 2018, and I never did. Because I did one in October of 2017 when I was in Hawaii, and y'all sent in amazing questions, and so many, and I was stunned. And that video was like an hour long, and I'm going to try not to do that today by talking really fast, so I apologize. No, I'll try not to talk too fast, but I also will try not to go off into story time because I feel like I can get distracted so easy. I finally opened up where y'all can ask me questions last month, and we are finally getting to filming this. Yay! I had to take a week off of videos, so I apologize that there's been like no videos going up, but I had finals and that wasn't fun. Well, midterm finally stuff, it's confusing. But yes, those courses are done, and now I'm in 3 others, and but we are going, and it's going, so back to normal, hopefully. Let's get started with these questions. I've talked enough. I do have them all printed out. There are 3 pages. One is double-sided. So let's get started, and I'm going to read them off. So let's go. Emily asked, "Hi Lindsay, I have a question for your upcoming Q&A. Who is your favorite character from the Mysterious Benedict Society, and what is your favorite book from the Mysterious Benedict Society?" Well, thank you for asking about the Mysterious Benedict Society. I should show y'all how many copies I have, but I won't. Instead, I'll just pull out. So if you're not familiar with what the Mysterious Benedict Society is, that's a mouthful. We're just going to refer to it as MBS for now on. So if you're not familiar with MBS, it is a, I guess, secular, it's not Christian, but it's very clean, middle grade series that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. These are like my childhood favorites. And this is actually the 10th anniversary edition. It is so pretty. So pretty. Honestly, if you are an MBS fan and you don't have this edition, you need to get this edition because it's gorgeous. I adore these books. I think they're fantastic. But okay, for your question, my favorite character would have to be Constance because obvious reasons, though everyone else was great too. But Constance, yeah, Constance was great. See, there she is right there. She was so fun. I'm gonna go with the first book out of the main 3, but if we include the prologue story of Mr. Benedict, I kind of want to say this one would be up there too because this was so fun. And my best friend and I, with her younger brother whose name is Trenton, so that was like, that was a fun thing. But we went and got to meet him when it came out, and it was cool. It's a good one. The entire series is great though, but I do have to say Constance is my favorite, and these 2 would be my favorite out of the whole series. Okay, but also fun fact, have y'all seen the cover for the British edition of The Secret Keepers? So pretty. Love this cover. Yes. I've become a snob, and yes. Like, everything else is the same, but just, yes, I bought it. Obviously, I bought it in hardback. I still have to buy the US edition and paperback. I have a problem, but it's a good problem because these are great books. Honestly, I own 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of the first book. Oops. Rebecca Ashley asked me a few different questions, so I'm going to do them in a rapid fire kind of way. What is your favorite movie? That would probably be Frozen or Tangled. Yes, very typical answers, but I love Frozen. There's just something about Frozen that, I don't know, I loved Frozen. And then Tangled was really good. For our like Christian book to movie adaptation, I would go with Love Finds You in Sugar Creek, Ohio, because that one was top notch. But yes, other than that, I'm really not sure. I'm not really much of a movie person. What has been your favorite book video that you've done so far? Thank you for asking this. Thank you. I love this question so much. Okay, so I actually have 4 I really like, and just for y'all to know, when it comes to my videos on this channel, I post them and I typically never watch them again, with the exception of these 4 videos. And I'm not kidding when I've said in the past where y'all most likely know my videos better than I do, because except for these 4, I don't go back and watch them. I just, yeah, watching myself be on a public platform is cringy, so I don't do it. But for the 4 I really, really love. The first one, these aren't in order, but these aren't like ranked in order, but I just like them. So the first one would be the Hawaii vlog I did. That's actually my lowest viewed video, which is a little like, well, because I loved that video. I loved editing that. It was so relaxing there. there was just so much behind the scenes stuff that I can't really get into in this video that I just loved, and I loved that video. I loved editing it. It was calming, it was relaxing. So that definitely is one I'll rewatch. And then also My Family Guesses book covers. My family, y'all, my family. My family is so much fun. My sister thought everything was a murder book. You know, normal. That's her. But definitely enjoyed that one. And then also the BookTube Besties tag I did with my bestie. I loved that one. And the vlog style, and I'd like to point out that vlog was before I had a small vlogging camera, so I was using like a big DSLR for that, so that should make y'all appreciative of that video because that was crazy. And it was great because I'm like, Peyton, do you want to film a video with me? Sure! So I brought my tripod, I brought my big camera bag, I brought my lights. I'm like, we are ready. Never to mind like my actual clothes and stuff in another bag. I moved in. That's how we've always done with sleepovers, so you know, it was fun. And then the fourth video that I really like rewatching, or not, this one isn't necessarily a favorite, it's just like when I'm like, oh, I'm proud of that video, would be the February wrap-up video for 2018 this year. It was different from my usual wrap-up, so I don't think many of y'all enjoyed it, but it was kind of like an OOTD kind of style, and it's not because I thought I was fashionable that I liked it or anything. I just really liked editing that, and it was a different style than I was used to, and I got to use, I have like this computer sketch tablet kind of thing, so I got to use that with like the scriggly stuff you see, and it was just a different video, and I really enjoyed filming that one. Thank you for asking this question, because I love answering like my favorite book videos I've done. So yes, those would be mainly just those middle two, but those bookend twos I really like too. What made you decide to start doing book videos? So honestly, it was more of a, this is an untapped marketplace for Christian fiction. Let me fix that. I feel like I should clarify that I'm a digital marketing major, and I wasn't necessarily looking at it from a marketing aspect. I was just looking at it as this is an untapped social media platform that BFCG could grow with, and that's, yeah, that's why I started making videos. That's the technical reason. I actually was a YouTuber prior to this channel for about 6-7 years. With another thing, that channel is all gone. We are not going to talk about that channel. That channel, when you have a YouTube channel in elementary, that's just automatically a bad idea, I feel like, because when you get older, you're going to be thinking, what in the world were you thinking? And yes, so yes, that channel is long gone. But it was just, I missed the video, the editing the video aspect, because I really enjoy making videos. And in this case, it's different because I'm the one talking to the camera. But I still missed that video aspect, and it brought me a lot of joy to edit, and that was the personal reason why I started BFCG. The BFCG videos, that is. But the more smart side of the BFC video idea was because it was an untapped social media platform that BFCG could be on. Does that make me sound like heartless? I'm sorry, but y'all get videos out of it, so is that okay? What is your favorite thing about reviewing books? Probably that I get books for free. I get to try out so many different books that I most likely wouldn't typically buy. So, like, I'd have to wait for the library, and that's good and great. But this is really cool because I have them so close to the release day, and that's a really special, that's an honor in my opinion. And then also, of course, meeting so many friends with the reviewing thing and being able to go, I'm not alone in what I don't want to read. Like, that was incredible, because in all honesty, when BFCG started, I thought only like a handful of people like I knew in real life would actually read it, and it'd be kind of like a pity reading. Like, oh, Lindsey started this, I should read it in case she talks about it so I know what she's talking about, that kind of thing. But it's grown so much, and that's mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. And to know that there are other readers out there who want clean books with faith content is incredible, and I love it. So yes, those would be my two reasons. Rebecca, you also asked, what is my favorite flower? I love daisies, because my dog's name is Daisy, and cherry blossoms. And I have those two flowers all over my room. Fake flowers, because I do not have green thumbs or fingers or anything like that. You also asked what my favorite day of the week was. And I feel like Monday gets a bad rap, but I don't pity Monday enough because of that bad rap to have it be my favorite day of the week, because no. I actually would probably have to say Thursday, because I have my Korean lesson on Monday and Thursday, and I love learning Korean so much. I don't typically get much actual schoolwork done that day because I'm just like in a wonderful daze from Korean, and it's lovely. Also, every other week I get to post a video, and I have it scheduled. It goes up during my lesson. So when I get out of my lesson, I have all the notifications on my phone, and I love, love, love seeing all of that and all the comments. And then I get to post on Instagram saying, hey, the new video is up. So I honestly would say Thursday is probably my favorite day of the week. Thank you for asking. That's a fun question. And then let's see. If you could be any book or movie character for one day, who would you choose to be and why? Again, to be honest, again, I'm not much of a movie person, but I kind of think it'd be fun to be any Aaron Mangum main character, to be in their life, to be friends with them. If I could join a friend group, I now know the answer would be the newest trilogy, whose name just went out of my head, by Aaron Mangum. This trilogy. I would definitely love to be in that friend group. Maybe Katie. Maybe Katie from Katie in Waiting by Aaron Mangum. I think it'd be cool to be her. Okay, so that was all of Rebecca's questions. Thank you so very much. Natalie messaged me asking about my other charm on my necklace. She's seen a cross, but she can't make the other part. I love it when y'all notice my necklace because I love explaining my necklace. Okay, so first things is my cross, which I'm going to have to go all like beauty guru on it. Okay, we're not focusing. That's fun. Okay, not focusing, never mind, forget that. It's a cross. I received it from my parents for the year anniversary of my baptism, so I've had it, I think, 9 or 10, I think I received it. I'm not quite sure of the age, but I've worn it every day since then, except for the 2 days the chain broke because I was at a PE thing, and ew, PE already, and then my necklace broke, and I was not having it today, and the coach did not understand why I was heartbroken. Because my necklace, like, it's one of those chains that if you pinch it, it breaks. And I was heartbroken because this is my necklace, and I felt so weird not wearing it. So that, yeah, he didn't quite understand why I was crying over a necklace, but it's an important necklace. Bunny trail, there I go again. So yes, this is a cross, you saw that right. And then the other one is an outline of China. And many of y'all know I went to China in the summer of 2016 with Show Hope. And if any of y'all are high school students to college student aged and you are interested in going to China or learning about orphan care and advocating for orphans, I cannot recommend that trip enough. It was absolutely incredible. I'm so, so thankful I went. I loved it. It's a country still so near and dear to my heart. It's a country that I keep praying for, and it's a country that needs prayers. And I love having it in my heart and near my heart physically, so it's definitely neat. I am actually, though, trying to get another charm added to this, and I'm not going to share what that is, but I do hope to get that soon. I have to find someone to custom make it, though, so yeah, that's the fun part. But yes, that is my necklace, and thank you for asking. Stephanie asked, if you start a book and find that you aren't enjoying it, not for moral reasons or anything, simply because it's uninteresting / poorly written, do you force yourself to finish it? I used to. Back in like the beginning of BFCG to like 3 years, like the beginning to 3 years of BFCG, I was notorious. If I started a book, I had to finish it. I don't do that now. If it's because it's uninteresting or poorly written, I'll look at reviews, like I'll put down the book and I'll look at reviews and I'll see if anyone else had the same difficulty I did, and if they mention it gets better, then sometimes I'll keep going. But if I see it just stays on that one note kind of thing, I won't, just because I don't have enough time. Why would I waste time on a mediocre book that I'm not enjoying? So yes, that's my opinion on that. Any current books? On Instagram asked, what are your personal standards for content in Christian fiction? good question. And that's actually a topic I really wanted to discuss too in this video. Was I feel like prior to making these videos, a lot of people kind of forgot that there was a human behind the blog and noting all the content. So I think I was regarded as, or the person behind the blog was regarded as very nitpicky or perfect or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm not. I'm neither of those things. So I love doing these videos just because I feel like y'all can see my personality a bit better. I'm getting hoarse. I haven't even been talking that long and I'm getting hoarse. I feel like with these videos, y'all can really see my personality. And no, I'm not perfect. I definitely, being from Texas, use the word dang, and I try not to use that. I'm getting better, because it is a byword. It gets you by, but it's not the main cussing. And I'm not perfect. I do have my own flaws. I just don't really share them on the internet. So I do feel like a lot of people think like I know all that content because I'm triggered by it, and that is not the case. There are many things I have to work on my own self. I just know personally that a lot of people can be triggered by different things, so that's why I note so much. But back on your question though, Penny, is what is your personal standards for content in Christian fiction? I like seeing a good amount of faith content. Depending on the book, like if it's a typical like 300-page book, I want there to be a good amount of faith content. And now that can differ depending on the topic, of course. I also want to see the main character praying. I'd love to see them go to church and maybe think about a scripture or something. I definitely would love to see that. For negative content, no cussing. Really? Please, no cussing? No main cussing. The minor cussing, there's certain ones that I don't like, of course. For the sexual side, yeah, the sexual one is really the one I'm like, nothing, I want nothing in there. When it gets to a detailed kiss, that's kind of when I'm like, wait a second. I do want to point out all the kissing, like the scales of not detailed, barely above not detailed, semi-detailed, and detailed, very detailed, etc. That is all answered on BFCG's FAQs, so you definitely can go check that out if you're not sure on what exactly a detailed or a semi-detailed kiss is. Typically when a book has 3 semi-detailed kisses to a very detailed kiss, or even just a detailed kiss, I'm okay. I don't really want to read that stuff. No, thank you. So that's kind of when a book starts getting like jumped down in rating. The kissier it gets, the more the rating goes bonk, 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 bonk. Yes. So that, I guess that would be my standard. Yes, I definitely don't want to. I don't want crude comments. I don't want innuendos. I don't want all of that kind of stuff. The Book Club 1 asked on Instagram, how do you classify a clean read? Do you think Christianity fits into fantasy books? Okay, well on the clean read, I kind of just talked about like my standards for clean books. I think it's really something I feel like everyone has to pray about and see how the Lord leads you and presses on your heart. And so I'm really like a clean read. I feel like in the mainstream, clean read means there's no sex scenes, there's no big cussing sometimes. But those are like the main 2 things that people are like, oh, it's a clean read, meaning there's no sexual parts and there is sometimes no main cussing. There might be once or twice, but yeah, it's overall clean. I disagree with that standard. That's not clean enough in my opinion. I think it should be cleaner and safer. And for, do I think Christianity fits into fantasy books? Well, many of y'all know I'm not really a fantasy person, so I'm not sure if I'm the right person to ask on this. I definitely think the good versus evil can be in any genre, and we see that with the light versus the dark, God versus the devil, that kind of thing. We see that often in real life with all the sin and evil in this world. But we can also see it in fiction books, and I feel like we see that a lot in fantasy more than any other genre. If you mean like an allegory type style, I think it should be a little obvious in my opinion, just to make sure people pick up what the author's putting down. Is that still a phrase we use? I don't even know. I'm on social media. I should know all like the slang and stuff, but I don't. That's probably a good thing. So I do feel like in that regard, in the allegory regard, it should be a little obvious. I'm not a big fantasy person, so I'm not quite the right person to ask on this. I think it depends on the book and what type of fantasy, because there's the fantasy that is the allegory, and I think that's fine. And then there's other fantasy that's kind of different, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that kind. Ivy Brooks asked, my question is, do you only read fiction books in the Christian fiction, or do you read any secular fiction? So I would say probably about 2 to 5% of the books I read are probably secular. Out of the 100%, 2 to maybe 5. The most has probably ever been 5% has been secular since BFCG started. Because I kind of have the mindset of, if I can't review it on BFCG, why am I reading it? Mary Jo Eden asked, what is one book that you read and regretted it? Or less specific, have you ever regretted reading a book? Yes, I have definitely regretted reading a book. Many books. Basically every one-star book. Every one-star book I read, I regret. And it's annoying. Even the books I rate 1 star and I don't finish, I regret what I read. I don't want to specifically name because like y'all can just go to the banned book section on BFCG and that will show you the ones that Lindsay wishes she never read. Piano Lover 97 asked, what are the 3 worst books you've ever read? Again, the banned book section, there's a good amount. There's more than 3 on there, so yeah, I don't really like naming like negative kind of books like that because I don't really like promoting them, of course. So yeah, just the banned book section on BFCG, all of those books. Stella Rain asks, do you consider Harry Potter a clean read for you, and do you have you read it? P.S. Love you. Oh, thank you. I actually haven't read Harry Potter. Not really my cup of tea or my thing, so I can't really, and because I've never read it, I can't really talk about the clean scale of it, so you'd have to talk to others who have read it. A-Scroll89 asked a few questions, so let's do this more rapid fire. What is your favorite color? My favorite is like that Tiffany blue, 1950s turquoise blue, but I also love every pastel. I love pastels too, so both of those. All of those. Who is your favorite author, historical fiction author? For author, I have shared my favorite authors before, and that would be, I like reading it from my phone of my favorite authors because it's easier to make sure I'm not forgetting someone, and then I feel awful, you know? Here we go. Favoriteest authors. Erin Mangum, Janice Hannah Thompson, who also writes historical, Amy Clipston, Krista McGee, and then Carrie Transky. And Carrie Transky writes historical fiction, so those would probably be my 2 favorite historical authors. How many books do you own? I'm actually not sure about this at this point because I feel like I have removed a lot of books. It used to be like 900 to 1,000. I would say I'm maybe at like 700 to 800 maybe? Maybe a bit more. I'm honestly not sure. I should do another counting my books video. I should do that. Okay, let's see. Have you read Looking for Cassandra Jane by Melody Carlson in her True Color Me series? If not, definitely recommended. That's one of her older books, isn't it? The Looking For one? I think that's an older one of Melody Carlson. So I have not read that one. For the True Colors series, I started reading those when I first found Melody Carlson's books, 12, 13 age. But personally, the topics they discussed, I haven't gone through, so it doesn't really help me. It just puts that in my mind of the different content it discusses. So I never finished this series. I think I read a couple of the books. Are you currently in school, living on your own? I am currently in school. I am a senior in college. Yes, I can see the finish line and it's beautiful, y'all. The finish line is glorious. It's screaming hallelujah. I'm very excited about that. I do live at home. I do college online. And there's going to be some exciting things coming up that I can't wait to share with y'all about later. I can't share yet, but eventually I get to share. And I'm very excited about it. But that's all I'm going to say. I hate to tease y'all, but yes. And then you also asked, what made you start making videos? I kind of already answered that at the beginning with Rebecca's question, so definitely go see the answer to that because it's the same. May, I'm sorry, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. You'll have to comment down below and let me know how to say your name properly. What is my favorite Jen Toronto book? BTW, I love your videos. Well, thank you. For my favorite Jen Toronto book, I'm going to go with her very first book, A Change of Fortune. And I could find it, but I don't know where it is because the books are still in the Rainbow Organization. I'm definitely going to have to go with definitely gonna have to go with A Change of Fortune. There was just, I can just read that opening chapter and it just makes me laugh, and it's fun. And I felt like being her debut book, I honestly think it was one of her best books. Art by a Unicorn asked, what is my favorite Melanie Dickerson book? I always answer this question as The Merchant's Daughter, and I do love that one. But I also really liked The Golden Braid and The Princess Spy. The Princess Spy I think is my favorite, but I haven't read the Mulan one yet, so don't know. Things might change after I read The Warrior Maiden. We'll just have to see. Amy Lockhart, you asked on Instagram, have you read any Tracy Peterson books? If so, what's your opinion about them and what is your favorite? So I've read some of her books back at the very beginning of BFCG, and I remember them being overall clean, but I don't remember being really, really impressed by them. Maybe, I know she still has a lot of books coming out, so maybe they're better now. If you have a favorite one you want to recommend, I would love to know it. I had a lot of recommend questions, so let me just go through these real quick. Anna Cat asked, can I recommend some retellings within the Christian market? Well, we have Melanie Dickerson's books, and then Amanda Tarot has some. I do plan on making a video on favorite fairy tale retellings, but so far it's really only those two. Gabriella Joy 614 asked, I know you don't read much fantasy, but are there any you have read and would recommend? See, I also would love to do a favorite fantasy video, but see, just saying that sounds really awkward because y'all know me and I'm not really a fantasy person. I don't know, do I have any fantasy books on the shelf? Okay, I can't find any fantasy books on the shelf. I'm sure there's a couple and I'll notice them when editing. At least I think there's a couple. Maybe I don't have any fantasy books. I did really enjoy Fox by Nadine Brandes. I thought that was a really unique one. Again, the Christian content was very low on that one, but I did really think that was a unique one, and that was fantasy-ish, and that's the first one that comes to mind when I think of fantasy. Okay, Primrose Blossoms asked, what are 3 of my favorite historical books and what's 3 of your favorite historical fiction authors? Well, I answered about the favorite 2 historical authors earlier. And then for favorite historical fiction books, I do have videos. I have 2 videos of my favorite historical books. So I'll link those down below. Probably it'd be easier because I'm going to run out of cards up here. Yeah, up here. Haha, I got it right. Yay me! So yes, I will link though the favorite, I have a playlist of all my favorite books. So y'all can go check those out. Oh, I know I'm saying your name wrong. Oh, you asked, what historical fiction would you recommend to get out of a reading slump? Let's see, Janice Hannah Thompson, Carol Cox, Anne Mateer, Carrie Taransky. Yes, can't go wrong with those. Do you ever read any nonfiction, and what would you recommend for YA? Nonfiction. Eventually, I will do a favorite nonfiction video. Eventually. But I definitely recommend Kisses from Katie and Daring to Hope. Those books are phenomenal. And then also, because my nonfiction is right here, I can also pull out, I really enjoyed for like the teen girls, young adult women, Spoken For by Robin Jones Gunn and Alyssa Joy Bethke. I really enjoyed this one, so I would say that one is a favorite too, along with the Katie Davis books. So good. And then for what would I recommend for YA, I actually have a video on my favorite YA books, and I'll link that up there. I hope to do another one of those, but I haven't come across enough yet, so that has to wait. Victoria, you asked, when do you plan on reviewing the Kristen Miller series? I don't know. I'd love to say a certain date, but I have no clue. One day, hopefully it's all gonna be up on BFCG. At least the main series. That's all I'm aiming for right now. We'll see about the rest of the series later on down the road. Amy Lee 2701 asked, I started reading the Lauren Holbrook series and I love it. Oh, I'm so glad you love it. So who do you like more, Ryan or Brandon? Honestly, y'all, it feels like it's been forever since I read that series, and I do actually want to reread it because I have the 2 sequel books staring at me and I haven't read them. I'm trying to think who is who, because I've read other Erin Mangum books since then, and those characters are now in my head. For the Lauren Holbrook, Ryan was the best friend, right? And then Brandon was the other guy. I like them both. How's that? I can't give you an exact answer. I'm sorry about that. KK86 asked, what do you think of Emily and Xander from Roadside Assistance? I liked them. I thought Xander needed them at one point just to like get them in motion, like go after Emily, but I'm the one who yells at the TV at the rom-coms, so there's that. Yeah, I liked them. I liked them. Emily better, but of course, bye. You also asked, what is your favorite book discount store? I mean, there's thrift books online, that is great. We need to work just a little bit on their standards of condition, because I like my books in pristine condition. But also, Half-Price Books is great, a little expensive at sometimes, but they're good. Mardell Christian Bookstore and Teacher's Supply Store, they have an official name, and I just call it Mardell's, and it's not Mardell's, actually. It's like Mardell Christian Bookstore and Teacher's Supply, something like that. I don't know. But it's a really nice place, and they have good bargain books, and that's where I've gotten a lot of my books, actually, besides for review. They're from Mardell's or some other bargain bookstore. Amanda's Bookshelf 1165 asked, what is your favorite book series? I have many favorite book series. I got asked a few favorites, and I'm not quite sure how to answer because I have many favorites and I stink with favorite questions, y'all. I stink with favorite questions so much. I have many favorite ones like Aaron Mangum series, and they were all out of order. Oh, Kristen McGee's series, I like those too. There's some of my favorites. Okay, Emma the Bookworm asked, what is your favorite book character? Again, I kind of want to say Katie in Waiting is Katie from Katie in Waiting. She is a favorite of mine. She was just so wonderful, and her thoughts and how she felt about different things was just incredible. So I would say she's definitely a favorite. I have hard picking just one favorite, but she's one of my many favorites. Piano Lover 97 asked, when is your favorite time of the day to read? I would probably have to say at night, late at night, because it's quiet. Sarah Beth White asked, what is your favorite book of the Bible and why is it your favorite? I love Psalms and Proverbs, but I'm going to have to say Galatians, Ephesians, Colossians, Philippians. I love those. Did anyone else learn God's Electric Power Company when memorizing Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians? No. SV Booknook asked, would you consider yourself a fast, slow, or in-between reader? BTW, I love your videos so much. Thank you. I'd like to consider myself a fast reader, but I also feel like I was faster when I was reading way more than I was. Like this year has just, my reading, I am so behind on my reading challenge. Like oh. So I feel like right now I'm in between. I'm probably still in the faster side of it, but I don't think I'm not as fast as what I once was. Because you have to keep conditioning yourself, you know? And yeah, I haven't been. I'd say in between. Answer that question. In between. Abigail McKenna asked, if you could hang out with the cast of any book, who would you pick? I know I keep mentioning this series, but it's because I just read the third book, so it's on my mind. I'm definitely going to go with the cast of Once Upon Eliza by Aaron Mangum, because Eliza, I'm related to Eliza, y'all. Like, you cannot tell me otherwise. We are related. We have so many same thoughts and characters, and I think it would just be a ball to be around her and Katie and Ashton and just everybody. It would be great. Rebecca S. Lewis asked, what was the first book you remember falling in love with? Okay, Mysterious Benedict Society is definitely one, and I also enjoyed Nancy Drew and Cam Jansen growing up. Those were like the ones I really, really loved. Angie Watts, you asked if I could be in any book I've ever read, which would you go to and why? Again, I'm going to have to go with an Aaron Mangum book because her books are fun, and I don't want to be in a historical time period. I do not want to be in a murder mystery because, hi, not running for my life, thanks, no. Amish, I have Wi-Fi running through my veins too much. And what was the other one? Oh, fantasy. Ha ha ha! No. See, my brain just automatically forgot it because that's not an option. And then dystopian falls under that too. No, thank you. So yes, I want to be in a happy contemporary that is not sad. So Aaron Mangum. I'm going with any Aaron Mangum book. Sketchy Behavior would probably be, even though that's like my favorite book by her, that'd be the last one I'd want to be in just because like you have the murderer on the loose. It's like, no, I'm okay. So yes, I think it'd be fun to be in any of the other Aaron Mangum books. Hereditary Ventures? Is I'm not sure how to say your username. But you asked the first book that gave you a book hangover. I don't feel like I really get book hangovers. I feel like my reviewing schedule, even prior to this year, does not allow me to more in a book, I guess, because I had to read and review so quickly, back to back, reviewing 3 times a week and then everything else. There's been the books like that I feel really sad. I'm like, oh, it's over. Boo. I'm so sad. So sad. That kind of thing. Like, I've felt that many times before. And that's basically every 5-star or 4.5-star even books. For the first one, I'm not sure what the first one was, but the last one, and you just kind of hug the book into a happy sigh, yes, that was this book. The last book that gave me kind of a book hangover type thing was The Story People by Heather Kaufman. Y'all have heard me rave about this one. I don't think I really need to go over it again, but I love this book. It's fantastic. So not the first one, but one of the more recent ones, I guess. Anna Cat, you asked, do I have an OTP? I don't have just one. No, I can't just have one. I don't know. I say that, but I ship a lot of different couples because you're supposed to ship them typically. But like, actually, like, I don't know, an OTP I feel like is a bit different from shipping, but I know it's like used in the same regard. So I don't think I have an OTP officially, but there are definitely couples I've shipped together, like Christy and Todd and Mandy and Joe. Okay, now I'm just getting classics going on here, but yes. Allison asked if I could go into any book and live in that time/world, what book would it be? So I'm definitely, yeah, gotta go with the In the Air Mega book. That'd be fun. But especially this last trilogy. That was really good. And then you also asked, what is your favorite secular book for your age and what is your favorite Christian book for your age? Well, I'm 19 and a half-ish. I'm coming up to my half birthday if we want to be technical. We don't have to be because next birthday is 20 and 20. I know it. Okay, everyone who's older than 20 is now telling me to hush up. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how I feel about being 20 coming up. I still get told I look like I'm 12. So that's great. Thanks, y'all. Thanks. Again, I don't really read like the typical secular book that is for my age group because content, no thank you. So I definitely like Nancy Drew, classic, Mysterious Benedict Society, classic, so we'll go with one of those two maybe. And then for a favorite Christian book for your age, I have a whole video on my favorite Christian books in general, so you can go check that out. And then last question. Megan asked, let's see, I've heard you mention before that you've gotten rid of a lot of books, so do you keep some but read and then get rid of others? What's the determining factor that makes you get rid of them? Do you sell them? Do you get rid of them because of space? Good question. Okay, this actually is one I kind of wanted to explain as well, so I was excited to get this question. Basically, I have gone through, in the past I used to keep any book that I gave over a personal rating of 3.5 stars. That was kind of the thing. I'm like, okay, I'll keep it. I also was building my library at the time, so I'm just like, keep all the books that are good and clean and fine. With that 3.5 scale, I would have in mind of when the sweet girls I've babysat, and now I don't babysit anymore. We just hang out, and they're like my little sisters. They're so sweet, and I want to do a video with them, but I can't convince them yet, so maybe one day. But I would always have like, because the older one, she would just go to my bookshelf and randomly put out a book and just flip through it. And I really had to be aware of what content could she possibly flip to. So that was a big factor. I'm like, okay, if there is too many kisses, this book's gotta go. If this book has a scene in it, it's gotta go. Like, not like a scene, like that kind of scene, but a scene like an attack or, you know, something like that. Like, just, no, why is it on my bookshelf? That doesn't need to be on my bookshelf. Doesn't matter how great the rest of the book is for the safety of my little sister's eyes. No. And so that was the main reason, but now I've become even more picky. This last year I've become even more picky, and I'm like, okay, why am I keeping 3.5 books? What was so special with them, and do I remember them? Like, years later, I've read this book years ago. Do I remember this plot? What sticks out with me? And if it's a negative thing, well, bye-bye. Maybe I'll put them in a rereading pile if I want to give them another chance and see, okay, how was it really? Was it really? What am I thinking of? That kind of thing. Yes, okay, so typically when it comes to a 1-star book, they instantly get thrown away, recycled. Does that make it sound better? I know people are going to fuss at me because I recycle books and not give them to the library or whatnot. I donate plenty of other fine books to the library, y'all. This is something I see so often of people being upset. Like, donate them to the prisons or donate them to the libraries. Why would you donate icky books? Why? I don't get that mindset. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't. That is one thing I just don't understand. So I will donate better books to those places. I'm not gonna donate the books that I didn't like. Why would I do that? Especially when like they have content that is not okay to be in a Christian book, in my opinion. Why would I promote that book? That book gotta go. Sometimes they get recycled. Sometimes if they're the low of the low, they get recycled. If they were okay, but maybe there just was content I didn't like, sometimes I'll sell them to a bookstore or on different Facebook book selling groups, or I'll donate to other places, or, you know, just different things like that. But yes, I did recently go through my books. Right after I did the rainbow, and right before, and then right after I did the rainbow, I went through my books twice, and I'm like, okay, this book, my opinion of it was, I'm like, thinking, and if I can't think of anything positive, okay, why are you keeping it? If not, shoop, goes away. That kind of thing. I believe I answered everyone's. Let me double check. I kind of organized these questions a little bit. I'll try to do timestamps down in the comments below. We'll see how well I do with all the links to the different videos mentioned in the cards, and also down below. So I can't thank you all enough for being willing to ask me different questions. I'm just so honored when I get notifications after I do like a Q&A post, and y'all just go crazy and give me a lot of questions, and I so appreciate it. And hopefully this video isn't gonna be like an hour long again, because that was a pain to edit. But it was so much fun because I had all those questions, and yay! Okay, so hopefully that's it for these ones. If y'all want to go ahead and ask more questions down below, y'all are welcome to do that, and I'll answer them as I can. So yes, that is it for this video. Thank you all so very much for asking questions if you did, and for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully my answers were satisfactory, however that word is said. And I don't know, I feel like I kind of didn't do so well on a couple of them, but hopefully y'all still enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time. I'm Lindsay from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where I post a new review every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I have a new video on this Thursday every other Thursday, kind of, and I'm on Instagram every other day, kind of. Bye y'all.